for the policy, not for the excitement, when Suzuki Todri sits down next to him, a similar silicon mug in hand. Interesting stuff, Suzuki says. Surprising. Ken ventures, trying to keep his tone as neutral as his mentor's. Suzuki shrugs. Not necessarily. Threatening war? There's no one within 3 meters of them, but Ken keeps his voice down anyway. It might be just that, Suzuki says amiably. A threat. Posturing. Remember, if this statement hasn't been recorded, not only can we not attack them for it before the election, but no one can hold them to it if they do win. Maybe they're betting that they can win Okinawa this way, but not the supermajority, so they won't have to make good on the promise. Liberty's trying to go all the way, Ken says, but it's not at all sure they will. Either way, this is extreme. This is exactly what the system was created to prevent. Suzuki nods. We have people in Okinawa trying to get rid of this promise. We're also thinking of running an ad or two ourselves. He holds out his screen. What do you think? The soundtrack goes straight into Ken's ear amplifiers, and he sets the projection to play in stereo at the closest possible points to his eyes, tiny and two-dimensional, so no one else can watch, although his brain stitches together a full-sized, full-depth result. It's your standard election ad, inspiring music over scenes of happy, sunlit, productive people of different races, interspersed with graphics that suggest, without ever showing the full picture, prediction maps of a policy-first landslide. The narrative is in Okinawan, but there are subtitles in English, Japanese, and Chinese for people who don't have translators. 20 years ago, the people of the world came together in an unprecedented step to form a new international order. Since the first global election, war among participating jurisdictions has been eradicated, and prosperity and trade have spread. Policy First believes in the principles of the elections. We offer you a clear, honest expression of our policy positions and seek peace and economic growth in all our Centenals. Visit one of our Centenals, check us out on your comparison sheets, and use your information to see what Policy First can do for you. It ends with the Policy First campaign slogan for this election, drawn in expertly calligraphed characters in their signature colors, bold yellow on a fresh sky blue background. The best policies, the best results. Pretty good, Ken says, impressed at the subtlety and how quickly they put it together. It never mentioned war, annexation, or Japan, but would draw a clear counterpoint for anyone who had gotten Liberty's message. But, anyone excited by the idea of, war, this is not going to change their minds. If we find something concrete, we can get more aggressive with our advertising and at the same time launch a complaint to the election board. It's amazing with all the information collectors out there now. Ken shakes his head. How many things still slip through? Amazing, Suzuki sighs, but true. There's a lot that gets past information analysis. You should know that better than anyone, he adds, glowering at Ken from under his eyebrows. Ken wonders if Suzuki has already checked whether yesterday's rendezvous showed up anywhere. We can't depend on them to protect the fairness of this election. I want you to keep an ear out on this trip, see if Liberty has been making similar promises elsewhere. Ken runs through his destinations in his mind. Hard to sell in Java, although they might scrape a Sentinel or two together on that basis, but Liberty's pretty weak there. Philip Morris is the big corporate to worry about. Singapore and Taiwan, yeah, an anti-Japan message could still resonate. But war? Be alert, Suzuki says. It might take other forms. Try to record anything relevant you find. Ken nods, feeling a pulse of excitement. They won't make that easy. Buy whatever recording devices you think will help. Check out the latest generation of recorder discs. They're amazingly small. Plenty of places where you can do that in Singapore. Or Jakarta, for that matter. Try the Sentinels belonging to Asia's Return. They have particularly lax controls on pirating electronics. Better and better. And keep your own head down. This does not supersede our overall strategy. We don't want them to know where we're playing. A second of hesitation. Keep your head down and watch your back. Mishima stretches in her travel bed, checks the time. Late. The Buenos Aires voter motivation party rocked until well past dawn. Mishima knows these events are important, and maybe once she would have enjoyed them.